Good evening. I hope you're doing well. So I decided to make a garden tour today. My last garden tour was from mid-June. I did publish it later than that, but it's been a while. And I am not really happy with the state of my garden right now, so I figured I need to watch my old garden tour and see the difference. And turns out the difference is good, is not bad. I want to show you my birds. I don't know if you've seen my chicken coop before, but we are now up to, we have 18 chickens, 5 turkeys. These are turkeys that are getting pretty big. They are so funny. I didn't think I would love having turkeys like that. It's kind of breaking my heart a little bit. And we have 2 chicks. Long story short, yeah, we have 2 more chicks. This is, we are pretty sure it's a rooster. And the other one is a silky. Look at this face. It is so freaking cute. They are adorable. Ah! What the hell? And these turkeys used to get out of this so like all the time. Once per hour I would come outside here and find one somewhere. But I did figure out that they were going up there. We can't see really well, but I did put like a little fence here. So this time we will go into the greenhouse. If there's nothing major that is scaring the hell out of me in here, because it's getting pretty good. My soil here needs some work. It was dead. It was completely dead when we moved here. But this is where they used to do their compost. It's our 4th year here. So it's been a while. It's starting to, I can't blame everything on the old, the past owners for that long, but basically they had their compost here, and I just like used it for gardens. This was completely dead, and these 2, because they haven't used it in a few years before we moved here. So it was like super dry. So I focused my attention on these 2 beds for a while. But now this year I've been trying to focus more on these others. Last year, wait, I'm just going to put that here. This is a melon. And I'm really happy about how it's going, because I rarely, in case you don't know, I'm in zone 2. Our nights are pretty cold, and melons like don't really grow. Melons and peppers and cucumbers don't really grow outside the greenhouse. But this one seems to have a few melons coming. Let's see. I did see a few of them. One is coming here, and where are they? Well, whatever. I did see a few melons a few times coming in here. This one is going to be a pretty big tomato producer, I think. But see, this one doesn't have that much flowers. I need to prune this because it's getting late to not have flowers. Most people here don't have fruits, but to not have flowers is it's getting pretty late. But as usual, I'm starting to get overwhelmed by the size of my tomato plants here, but I don't really mind, because that's how I like it. And on this side, I did plant a few plants, but like I said, it used to be pretty dead. I did add some manure and compost, and I am working on watering it a lot. And on this, and same thing here. And to be honest, in this this little patch, there's a solo hornet that lives in there. As soon as I move the plants or something, it comes out. So I don't really want to play in that. So that's why it's full of weeds like that. But it's no big deal. In the middle here, I did have a few tomato plants, thinking I would leave more space for my pepper plants. But seems like my pepper plants don't really like growing here either. So last year I did have, if for those who were watching, I did have, I think, 16 plants, tomato plants here with peppers with them. So if it doesn't get better, I'm going to just remember that I'm better off filling this with tomatoes and a few pepper plants than just trying to use the whole space for peppers and just having like teeny tiny little pepper plants here. So I really need to clean the space out because I'm having my visit in a little bit more than 3 weeks. So I want the space to be clean, but I think with the weed eater it's going to be fine. So let's come outside and watch what is going on here. I was pretty disappointed with everyone. Everyone here is struggling with their garden, so I'm trying to not be too hard on myself because it's not as flourishing as I wish it was, but I'm trying to remain realistic. When I remember my garden, is it really at the end of July, or it's more like mid-August that I think it's like super nice and looking well, but it's still looking better than it used to. So this place here, I still need to work it here and expand it here, but I don't have that much soil, so I think this is going to be something that is going to wait for next year. And I need to weed this path here, but I'm hoping that this nasturtium is going to just puff up. I did have many beans that I did plant here, but doesn't seem to be working super well. But what my plan is to just explain to people how I'm trying to work on the garden and trying to establish my soil more than anything. I don't really mind this place to not be looking perfect, because right now I want the soil to work. I want everything to get established, and I'm going to work on the weeds over the years and the soil. Right now I just want something there. So when we come in, we don't see that much. I didn't clean. You might be able to guess that I didn't clean before turning my camera on. I came outside and didn't know actually I would turn it on. We can see here that I did start to lay some wood chips here, and I really hope that having the tarp down for a few weeks / months to burn down the weeds under it is going to help, because I really love how this looks. But I'm starting to think that I'm just going to mow the other rows. But I really would love if it could stay like that. But I'm not fooling myself. So on this side, everywhere you see a rope, there is a tomato plant attached to it. And there is some progress since last time I filmed, but we did have a really cold snap, like not freezing cold, but something around the 10 degrees Celsius for a few days. The nights were cold and the days were cold, and it was gray, and we did get a lot of rain, and it was cold and rainy, so it didn't help. But we are having a few days, the ground and the soil is completely soaked, and we've had 2 good days, like really sunny and warm days, and we are having a few that are coming in the next few days. So I'm hoping that it's going to help. One thing that really disappoints me, I'm seeing this sunflower here, is that I never had any trouble growing sunflowers before. So I thought that no matter what, I'm going to plant a ton of sunflowers. and thinking that, I mean, worst case scenario, nothing is gonna grow, but I'm going to have many sunflowers, and it's going to look majestic. I swear I did plant, I think I did plant at least 100 sunflower seeds, but I now have, I think, 4 sunflowers growing, and they're not even like the big ones. They're going to be beautiful, but I just wanted, like, last year I did have like huge sunflowers and many types of sunflowers everywhere. It was beautiful. I was thinking, even if everything else sucks, at least it's going to be beautiful with my sunflowers. But I'm guessing maybe the birds ate most of them. Something happened for sure. Maybe I'm going to have a ton of volunteer sunflowers in the next few years, but I'm really disappointed with that. I do have 3 or 4 sunflowers, volunteer sunflowers, where the chicken coop used to be, but I'm not sure if I'm going to leave them there or trying to transplant them. I'm not sure, but I would really like this garden to like be beautiful, of course. But I'm thinking, I mean, it's under construction. People struggle with their gardens, and maybe it's just going to, I don't know, show the truth to people, how it's going. Even for anyone, the year was hard, but I mean, I guess they can get some inspiration still from my garden. As we can see, I still have a lot of weeding to do here. I swear I always seem like I'm weeding, but I'm not. One thing that disappoints me too is that I have nothing much growing to my arch trellises, which I think is kind of a bummer. Especially this one. I think I did plant some melons and cucumbers and nothing grew. But oh well. On this side here, though, I do have a few peas and things like that that grew. I did add some uh, tomato plants there, but I'm not sure if I ever had a plant go up. I think once, maybe twice, and now it's too late to plant anything else. But I am pretty sure that I have some birds eating my seeds, because I did plant a lot of seeds, and maybe just not everything popped, but yeah. So here I'm seeing one thing I'm happy about is that I did plant carrots a little bit everywhere. Is this a carrot? No, this is a radish. But I usually fail at I have a big issues planting carrots, and but this year I do see carrots pop a little bit everywhere, and I did plant a little bit everywhere. So I guess we're gonna have some carrots, and I need to plant some right now for my fall garden. See, I have another sunflower here. Maybe it's going to get bigger than that. It doesn't seem to be flowering yet, but we will see. This bed has always been my over-the-top bed, and just like in the greenhouse, there's a solo hornet or wasp or whatever. There's a solo insect that as soon as I move the grass here or a plant, it gets out and just patrols around to see what's going on. So I'm not touching it. That's why there's absolutely nothing in the middle, because I would have planted another tomato plant there, but at least I was able to put a rope on my current plants, and we can see that they are getting pretty big, but I am not touching them. My celery is good this year, but as usual, this bed seems to be doing really well, and I do have some volunteer borage here, which is nice. It's going to look great. But I did plant borage here last year, and clearly it volunteered there. I do have some cherry tomatoes here. In the middle here in front of the garden, I do have these bricks, but I'm thinking to remove them because they do get buried and like kind of lost in the grass. I want to put wood chips everywhere here, and I did plant, we can't see them right now on the camera, but I do know where they are. I do have some raspberries lined up here and a few perennials, so I'm planning to cut all of this, leave my plants, and put some cardboard, and this is all going to be wood chips, and eventually we will have these raspberries in the middle. So if we get further into the garden, I feel I don't have that much of things to say because everything is just mixed. Everything is pretty similar. Like I have tomato plants in each bed and other stuff which is mixed because of how life is done. I decided to just mix everything, and my celery is doing really well everywhere. I do have a few flowers here and there, and see, this is a cucumber plant I planted. Is this cucumber? Yeah. And it's so tiny. It's been there for weeks. And if it does the same as the last few years, it's not going to be really big, maybe like this tall, but I'm going to have a few cucumbers on it. On this side, see, I have more carrots here. I can't wait to harvest that. And some beans that I'm pretty sure are going to climb. I don't think I planted some bush beans in here. I have a dog that discovered that she can eat from the garden. So as soon as she sees me like harvest things, she starts harvesting by herself, and sometimes she tears up my plants. Like right here, we can see my snap peas are pretty much she just comes in here and eats her snap peas by herself. She makes me think of Tuck. If you're watching James Prigioni, Tuck, his dog is just like, he needs to fence his dog out because he's eating off the plants and tearing them apart. Freya, qui mange pas mes plantes, hein? Non. Same thing, you can see the beds that I've worked on the most. I didn't like work as much on this one as I was on this one over there. And it's pretty clear. But as time comes, during the fall, I'm going to just rip everything and put some nice compost or manure and mulch, and next year it's going to be better. But I do have this tiny raisin vine that is growing, and I was pretty sure it was dead, but it's coming back to life, and this is a melon. So I'm really happy about this one because when it pops, it's going to look really nice. And talking about vines, I thought the same thing. So moral of the story, never think that your vines are dead, because this one I did plant it last year too, and it took a while to have I'm pretty sure like maybe it died, it almost died or something, but it's now popping up and starting to climb. And the same thing with this one here. It was completely like just dry sticks, and now it's looking like that. It's getting bigger. Freya. No. But between all that, I did buy another one that I'm going to show you a little bit later. Coming back in here, this is the I did look for the name of this. How is it called? We call it krasny, but it is called Chinese turnip, something like that. It's a name of a common vegetable with a nationality, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's Chinese turnip. This spreads like weeds, but it's really nice because it takes all the space and is edible, and it's pretty good, and it's really something that grows easy here. One of my last beds is this one was completely, I made it last year, so it's really full of weeds and not doing really well either, but my tomato plants are not that bad. I did install those branches first and tied. They did fall a little bit, and this is when I did put my ropes, and then I put it back straight, and now it looks like that, but it's no big deal. We can see my Freya, ici. My garlic is really, I need to harvest it. We're there yet, but I am pretty sure that it's not going to be that well because I did have French, it's called, look at this. It's called la mouche de l'oignon. So like onion flies or something. It's, I don't know how it's called in English, but it's these tiny gray flies that they did a lot of damage last year to my garlic, which is why I have it spread a little bit everywhere, but to my onions too. This is full of weeds. So sometime this week I'm going to harvest my garlic and hope for the best. Then I think I'm going to plant carrots here for my fall garden. So I did a lot of progress on this side, like not plant progress, but like human actual like labor progress. This bed, I don't know what's going on. It's a mess, but I did plant so many things. I remember like direct sowing so many things and some things are growing and some things are not, so I'm just letting it go and weeding once in a while. But this is really the place. It looks messy, but I'm almost done with a part of it. This I can't help but imagine how it's going to be like in a few years, because Freya, yay. And to be honest, look at the grapes on there. If they all grow to be big and healthy grapes, the cost of the plant is going to be less than the cost of the grapes I would have paid at the grocery store. So that's my train of thought. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. So I'm thinking that this is going to be eventually growing there. And on the other side, I'm really crossing my fingers because roses, like climbing roses, usually do not grow here. But look at this. Wow. I had to stop and take a picture because we do have some roses, but they're like not roses like that. They're some other kinds of roses that everyone has, and it's looking particularly beautiful. But this is a climbing one, and I honestly cannot remember where I got it, but I know that I was surprised to find it, and I think it's zone 2 or zone 3. Probably more zone 3 because I push my luck like that. But I really hope that this is going to just climb on here, and even if it partially dies each year, this has grown pretty well this year. I don't know if you can see, but these are they were all cut like that. It was just cut like that. So it's beautiful and I love it. I do have some raspberries here, and I don't know, I was about to say that they do not produce yet, but I see a little strawberry. Oh, but this is not the same. This is not this, is it? Yeah, there's clearly a strawberry here. But we did go, sorry, we did go to a friend's house to harvest raspberries, and they were like falling from the weight. I'm exaggerating, of course, but they were all red, full of ripe strawberries, like really ripe, not just beginning, but full. But I don't know what's going on with these. I'm not really worried about it because I know there's annuals and biannuals and all kinds of varieties of raspberries. Last year we did have some really nice big red raspberries in there. So see, she saw me harvest something. Hey, yeah. And unfortunately some on the back died. There's still one of them, but right now it just bugs me since it's not uniform. But the plan was to have this here to be a row of annuals, but at least for this year that's how it's going to be. And I know that raspberries can be invasive, so I'm probably just going to leave this to the raspberries. Freya, Abba, Freya, Abba. This one here is going to be some annuals, and I did start a little path on this side, like everywhere, trying to add these little paths on this side too. And here is my tower. I do have 3 towers, and this one, like I said, looks gorgeous. I just wish it was more uniform, but I did plant all kinds of I think these are maybe Tiny Tims. They are micro dwarf tomatoes, and some peppers and strawberries. So I should fill some of the spots, but I do have a ton of things going on, so I'm doing my best. I can't do it all. This one here is not bad, but it could be much better if I had like some flowers growing in there like the other one. It did fall a few weeks ago. It completely fell. I was so disappointed. It was full of plants. It fell, but at least it was like my daughter was like right there, and it fell right next to her. So I did nibble it more better, but I did lose a lot of soil in there, and it did mix. It's not looking that bad anymore, but it was like completely mixed with my gravel, and it was really disappointing. So it's now like pretty much, some of them are really lacking some soil, but I'm not going to fill that, not at this time of the year. And this one on the other side, I'm not really caring for it that much. So see, I just realized that there's weeds in there. But I don't know, I feel like the red one is producing so much more than the other ones, and the slugs still manage to climb in there. So, oh well. I feel that I need to hurry up, but I feel that we are starting to get a feeling of what I'm trying to do here. I am still buying and laying some rocks. So I was editing this video to realize that my camera shut down. I was out of battery before I was ending it, and I think what I was saying is that we are starting to feel what I want us to feel in this garden. I think I am starting to feel like I want to feel. At least that's the important, right? So that's it for today, and thanks for hanging out with me, and see you next time. Bye.